Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, time for another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, as always. I'm joined by Tony has 9 fingers.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our very special guest?
Yes, coming back on the show, Kate Kiddo. We had her on a couple times, but now we got exciting news and exciting movies to talk about.
Welcome
How
back.
are you?
Thank you so much. So great to be here. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute.
You guys have not aged a second, which is
I wish that was the case. I've aged a lot, but
that's how I feel.
yeah,
It's been 100 years.
I literally turned 50 in November.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I turned 50 just last month.
Oh my goodness! Well, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, let's talk about aging. Oof.
Yeah. How do you feel? Do you feel different?
No, not really.
No?
You're only as old as you feel.
Right. And I'm a child at heart, so I don't have kids, so that doesn't make me, it's one of those things where I don't feel 50 because I still buy toys and I still
You never transitioned into the
right. The parental role.
Yeah, same. I don't know my transition into adulthood is going to kick in finally.
Remember when Tony said we just talk about random things? This is a good example.
Yeah, perfect.
See?
But people still listen to us.
That's right.
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, we're having you. You're coming on today to talk about a couple movies. One of them we've had. You may have even talked about it in the past. The
Events surrounding a Peeping Tom.
Events surrounding a Peeping Tom. Yes.
Yeah.
That's been in the works for a while, and it's something that we've been looking forward to for a while. So I'm excited that there's potential news about the movie coming out.
Well, they did have a premiere, so that's why I wanted to bring her on. It already happened, correct?
Yeah, so the world premiere happened on December 5th or 9th. Wow, I'm really blanking on that. Well, so in the beginning of December, we all went to New York City and showed it at the New York Horror Film Festival. And, it was kind of an intimate screening, sort of. Most of the people were the team, the crew, a lot of people who contributed to the campaign because the movie was crowdfunded. So that's part of the reason why certain projects take so long to actually take to the finish line, because, you get some of the money, to produce it, and then it quickly runs out in post-production as well. You're like, we didn't realize we needed all of the work, or as much work in the post, because you always try to put your best foot forward in the, on the front end and do the best you can during shooting and stuff and prepare for it properly. But then it always goes awry, in post. So
yeah, there's been so many movies over the years that we've been doing this that we've gotten excited about, and it's just they've never seen the light of day, or it's something where it's just it takes so long for some of them to come out. And it's just it must be hard from your standpoint too, because especially if you're proud of a project, and it's just I can't wait for people to see this, and it's just they're gonna have to wait, or they're never gonna see it. It must be
I'm
tough.
definitely still in that space because like we're waiting on the the release, the actual wide release. I think the most painful thing, well, it's catch 22 really. If it doesn't come out after all the all the years of working on something, it's very disappointing. But then if it does come out and then you get to see it on the big screen like we did in the beginning of the month, uh, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like 5 years younger in that thing. Like, this is a kind of a hard realization, and I'm like, look at that. That's just a baby. People are gonna meet me after this movie and be like, oh my god, what happened to you? And I'm like, it's been 84 years. I'm sorry. We're all looking a little different.
I'm my own grandma now. That's weird. It worked out that way. But no, it's you haven't aged either.
Oh, thank you. It's the worked on the lighting really hard here so that you would say that. People listening can't, you guys don't know, but
so that's why we encourage everybody to watch it, because watch the show, because then you'll see the trailers and the guests and everything else, the bells and whistles.
And you're gonna have to watch the movie and this live. So
exactly,
that's right.
Watch the live first and then the movie.
That's right.
Or if you can figure out to do both at the same time, I don't know how, but so what are the plans as far are they shopping around for distribution now for Peeping Tom?
Right. So right now it's doing its little festival run. We're trying to show it kind of intimately at a few places and just see how it translates to the big screen, which we did get some good notes from our producer Brian, who was there, and he's always very anal about these things. And even though this is a quote unquote final cut final project, he still found some things to tweak there. And so that's kind of what festivals can do for you, right? So we're gonna try it again after they've made a few changes, but it's very close. It surpassed all of my personal expectations for it. I was quite impressed with our sound design. It was in that crazy, I'm not much of a techie person, but it was like that 5:1 surround Dolby hi-fi sound, and it was just amazing how it all came together. And our score by Alexander Taylor just really came through, and just the atmosphere really came through. So that was really exciting that it actually looked really good. But yeah, so we'll do a couple more festivals probably, and then see where the best home for it is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it goes well, and hopefully we'll be able to see it soon in whatever fashion, whether it's on streaming or if it gets like cool distribution through, a cool, well, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a boutique distribution company like the other movie that we're going to talk about, which got distribution through Vinegar Syndrome. But
not only distribution, but it was produced by Vinegar Syndrome.
Oh, was it really? Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that.
Vinegar Syndrome original.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. I honestly didn't know that either.
Yeah.
But between like just the cast, one of the reasons why I wanted to see Events Surrounding is just because the cast and Hannah and all that stuff. It's just like, if you watch horror movies, the cast in there, and it's just like, everybody coming together. It's just like, oh man, as a fan, it's just like I've heard about this movie so long, I eventually want to see it. But it's like between everybody there, I'm sure I mean, in my mind, it's like it has to. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's like how can it not, with just that like nucleus of people? So.
Well, that's really lovely. Yeah, and most of those people are buddies of yours, right? Because you've had them on the.
Yeah, we've had most, if not all of them on the show in the past, including Felissa and
Damien and
Hannah,
Damien. So and it's weird, like you said it that way. People talk about the podcast and they're like, oh, what do you get out of it? Do you get? I'm like, listen, if I can sit down, watch a movie, and then talk to the people behind it, it would be lovely if we ever got paid. But just being able to watch something, enjoy it, and then come on and like learn the bells and whistles from doing this for how long. It's just like I used to watch movies a lot differently than I do now, and I say this like how many times, almost every freaking podcast. But it's just one of those things where it's just like it's so true. It's just like sitting down and getting older, and it's just like watching a movie, thinking you know what you think you know, and then coming on here and finding out you have no idea. It's like, mind changing. It's just like, oh, okay, I had one perspective, and then it's, oh, nope, it's completely off and wrong. So,
Yeah.
doing this is fun.
Yeah. And especially like with these two movies that we're talking about on this episode, it's definitely open to interpretation and a lot of different opinions, and they're not quite explicit about their topics or the judgment of characters. It's really, both movies are really open to interpretation, and the characters are as well. So that's kind of what I like about movies, when I'm I'm not given everything on the silver platter. I'm going to make my own decision or be left with questions and like be unable to make a decision. And I think that's interesting characters, because they're not so cut and dry. They're just flawed, as well as oh my god, look at who's in the chat.
Who's in
The
there?
Peeper himself.
Oh, look who it is.
The old Peeper.
Yeah, we were talking before this, Damien, and I said I watched Black Eyed Susan, and I saw a lot more of you than I was expecting to see.
Saw a lot more of you than I've seen of myself in a long time. Wolfie is in the chat asking what the Vinegar Syndrome film is, and it's Black Eyed Susan.
We'll get to it.
Susan.
Well, you just ruined the surprise.
Yep.
Those
were his peeping eyes. Those were Damien's peeping eyes in the comment. But yeah, it's what was that?
The old prowler is prowling.
Oh, yep. He's over there doing his Christmas peeping. But so for those who don't know, do you want to give a little backstory to the events surrounding a Peeping Tom, like a little synopsis, if you could, about the movie?
Okay, so trying to read
without giving too much away.
Now Damien's putting pressure on me. He's like, don't say anything wrong. But it would be nice if he was here, because it's really his the story that came from his noggin. He likes to take walks, and maybe he'll tell you someday. But anyway, that's how the idea was conceived. He was just quiet walks at night, and it came to the realization that if anyone really wanted to prey on the unsuspecting people in their homes and the safety of their homes, they really could, because these Long Island people really don't put like drapes on their windows and stuff. But that's kind of, that was a little nugget that the story grew from. And it's been in the works for like 25 years with Damien and the writer of the script, Brian Fitzpatrick. So it is about Martin Malone, this lone voyeur. He lives with his grandma in the basement. He's really cute, but very socially awkward. And so he looks for that connection any way that he can, really. And he gets caught for, trying to look into people's homes, and goes into, he does the time or whatever, and goes to rehabilitation, and gets a little bit better, but then he's pulled right back in, and things kind of flip on him a little bit, but that's not something that I can talk about too much.
Okay. We'll have to wait we'll have to go see the movie at a film festival or wait for distribution.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to announce it, but that's, part of the thing that I mentioned before, where this character is really open to interpretation because he really starts out as the, kind of a bad guy, but at the same time, the way that Damien plays him also makes him so sympathetic that you kind of question your opinion of Martin.
Well, that's like any horror, well, not any, but some horror villains. Like you look at a Jason Voorhees, where
Right.
yes, he is killing people, but the backstory is, he was a young kid, he got bullied and got, you know, pretty much murdered, but now he's killing people. So it's like, oh, do you feel bad for him or bad for the random people that he's not? So it's like, okay, each villain has their own, sometimes they have a story where you can be like, are they really the villain?
Yeah,
But
they're
then other
victims of
people are
abuse.
just like, yeah,
They're
you're
victims
just
of
an
abuse,
asshole.
and they can't, they can't help where they came from, and it's it's unfortunate, but that stuff happens. A lot of my favorite villains are just big misunderstood oafs.
Right. Yeah.
I associate with them. I feel like I'm part of that.
You're a big misunderstood
Misunderstood
oaf.
oaf. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
No,
that why you're the worst?
yeah.
See,
I'm
they're
the worst.
not always black and white, right? And
Yeah.
that's what art is there for, exploring that kind of human nature and like uh, the different, like the prism of what a human being is. So that's why I
Now
really,
is that when you like, if you're reading for a part, if you're reading it and you're like, oh, okay, I see that. Are you more inclined to be like, yes, I want, or this part, or play, or go for a certain part where you're like, okay, I feel this one might be a little bit easier, but this one has more open dialogue, and I don't know about this one as much, but it intrigues you a little bit more. Like, is that how do you go into you know trying to pick a role, if you can
yeah.
pick a role, or
So it's definitely kind of sadder or more disappointing to see um, a character that is very cut and dry and sort of flat, or whatever, or kind of one note. um Luckily that doesn't happen to me a lot, like with the scripts that I get. And really the funny thing was that when I was like getting into like film acting and stuff like that, I thought that I would always want like bigger parts, because like that's what you expect. You're like, you always want to get the bigger part and stuff. But then I noticed that it actually wasn't really the case. It's usually, oh, is this person interesting? Is there something that is there to be explored? But that's um, yeah, absolutely. It's always more interesting to play somebody with flaws and different sides to them, because kind of a way to know yourself a little bit more. So absolutely.
because sometimes it's those side characters. Like if I'm watching something and I'm like, that person's a little bit more interesting than your
Yeah.
main. It's like you should have flipped it, because it's like, oh, I like that side character a little bit better than the person I see every single time or the entire movie. It's like, sometimes it works like that.
Well, sometimes it's a testament to an actor's ability as
Mm.
well. Sometimes people will surprise you in certain parts and certain characters that are cast, or build lower or whatever. Like, it really takes a good performance to bring something interesting out of the character. So, uh, I like those surprises. I like to see smaller characters make a good impression on you. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah, it's always like I don't know. Trying to think of some of my favorite movies, and like some of the they may not even be smaller characters, but they're just smaller movies. And
Mm.
it's like the people that really like, oh, they're gonna be huge, and then like some of them don't end up being huge. But they are a little, they get a little bit bigger, but then they don't take off, you know?
Well, like some of my favorite like actors, it's just like they're not the A-listers. It's like a Paul Giamatti or a Giovanni Ribisi or something like that, where they get the roles, but it's not their name isn't the top ticket. It's like in there, but it's just like okay, it's like the sixth name on the list. But there's some of the best actors I think are out there, and it's just like okay, they don't get as much credit as I think they deserve, but I think it might be better because what if it is they're the top build and then
Mm.
it's the movie's not that great.
I
It's
was
like
I was thinking, and I don't know if I'm saying her name incorrectly, and if I am, I'm just super tired. That's my
when
excuse.
she's watching this, she's gonna get angry at you. Hearing that
Well,
she's not coming.
Angela Bettis.
Oh yeah, May.
May, yeah, the
Yeah.
movie May.
Mm.
Um, and then she's not huge, like she's not like a huge actress, but that movie like really is awesome. I don't know. Have you ever
That
seen May?
May, no. I
No?
don't think I even heard about this movie.
No?
Yeah, it's this one girl. She kind of wants to build the perfect
The
boyfriend.
perfect. Yeah, so she literally is like making a Frankenstein monster of
Ah,
yeah. It
okay,
was
that's interesting.
yeah.
I would-
It's a fun one. I like it a lot. And then she ended up I know she had a part in Dexter. I think she played the sister in Dexter.
I think it's
Okay.
there's a movie. I think it's 12-hour Shift or something where she
Hmm.
plays a nurse. It's more like a thriller type deal, but that's another one where she plays a really good part
Yeah.
in. So
Well, there are a lot of moving parts, right? When
Mhm.
it comes to like, sometimes someone being really good has nothing to do with their like stardom or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that play there. Sometimes good actors, like Toni Collette, for example. Oh gosh. Like she says, I don't want to be a star. I want to be an actor, and that's just kind of what I am. So she's not really interested, maybe in the politics or appearances and stuff like that, and marketing, which is kind of crucial to the making of a star and stuff, or drama, you know. So, but sometimes it's people do try to be a star, and like luck just doesn't turn their way. But
Yeah. It's unfortunate for some of them because then there's other people that are just like, oh, these people again. They're in another movie. Ugh, ugh. But you know, those are just the big
then
Hollywood.
you look at like horror actors like Bill Obrist. I know Kevin loves Bill Obrist.
Yeah,
So
I do. Let's stop talking about actors and actresses we love and just talk about the movies. Remember we were talking about how we just go off rails, huh? It happened again.
now
Um,
here's before we get into the next thing or play the trailers. In between all your horror movie works and stuff, you did do a Christmas movie, correct? There was a little.
she's like looking like, what are you gonna say?
Well, I was just wondering, is it one of those things where it's like, I'm I've did so many different horror movies, I need to like not cleanse myself, but sometimes horror is like that stigma where it's like, oh man, it's like whatever. It's like, okay, let's do a wholesome movie. Like I can look at Ethan Suplee and he did uh American History X, and then he went and did what do you call it? The football movie with Denzel Washington.
right.
Whatever.
No, I just needed to pay my phone bill,
Okay.
and that was pretty much it. And also, I was house shopping, and it worked out quite perfectly that the movie was where I was shopping for a house, and so during that time, I was also able to do a little bit of legwork on that, and it all worked out. So I think it was destiny that I got cast in the movie so that I could complete other goals as well.
What is the Christmas movie?
There's a couple. Which one are you talking about, Tony?
The one with Damien. It was like a couple years ago.
They're both.
I did not know. The one I did see was actually someone who
Oh, right.
we
Yeah.
had we had Harrison Smith, the director.
Yeah.
We had him on a couple times.
That
Oh,
was the Tom Arnold one, right?
Yes, with Tom Arnold. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was fun. Um, yeah. I mean, it was shot in the middle of July, so
Isn't that usually how most Christmas
yeah.
is
I
like?
mean, they turn them out every couple of months, so like
Hmm.
Hallmark as well. But yeah, this movie even ended up on Showtime, I believe. Showtime, Hulu, and I've even had people reach out to me on Instagram. I think from like somewhere overseas. They were like, "Hey, you played Jen in that Christmas thing." I was like, "What? How do you know about that?" It's crazy.
My wife
Well,
loves Christmas movies. I'll have to
well,
track it down.
that's the thing. We
Yeah,
always say we have horror movies have conventions, but so do
Hallmark.
Christmas movies.
Well, yeah, but
Hallmark movies
yeah,
have
Hallmark movies do.
their own convention. So it's like, horror is definitely up here, but it's you don't see a rom com convention. You don't
Right,
see like whatever.
You
You see
should.
horror. You
'Cause
should.
everyone's standing around back to back with their arms crossed in the rom
right.
conventions, huh?
Well, we pretty much do that for Christmas movies as well. It's just like every table would have like somebody, the
Mm.
couple wearing the red and green sweaters.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean they're all
Um,
pretty the
so
same.
that's I don't know if I've seen that though. He said Harrison Smith directed it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like Harrison. He's a good dude. So I should check that out. He made a movie called Death House years ago, and me and my cousin Leo did a documentary about the making of it, and that they showed at some conventions and stuff. Um, and so yeah, we worked with Harrison for like a while
Mhm.
um, because of that.
How old is that movie, Death House?
Uh, I was
Sounds
almost
like.
400 pounds when we made that documentary, so it was a long time ago.
Mhm.
Um, it was, yeah, I don't know. It it didn't come out as well as we were hoping.
Well,
He showed me
talk
some
about-
dailies. He showed me some like behind the scenes stuff, and I was very excited. And then I was just like, "What happened?"
But
Like
I think the main problem with that is when they like promoted it, they called it the
they
Expendables of
they didn't
horror.
they didn't call it that.
Well, that's what when it first was coming out. It had like every who's who of like horror icons, like from Kane Hodder and Felissa Rose and Dee Wallace and all this. And
um,
then somehow it leaked out there that it was the Expendables of horror, and everyone was expecting like Jason to show up and Freddy to show up and all this stuff, but it wasn't. It was just they're the actors, and I think that's what. Well, when I would see comments, I think that was the main gripe. They're like, "Where's Jason?" It's like, no, it never was gonna be that. But what do I know?
Who's who of who? Question mark. Um,
Yes, exactly. Who's who of horror? When I say it, I can't speak right, so it always sounds like horror.
no, but it,
Horror.
it was I mean I didn't hate the movie. It's just I was super excited for it, and then when I saw it, I was just like, there was some stuff that like I think they ran out of money, and I think there may have been some producers that were like, I'm going to pay this much money, I'm in the movie, and that's that. So, and it was just like, all right, great, they're in the movie, and they're not actors. All right, cool. But
right.
it seemed like
That's
that kind of stuff was going on a lot. But I mean, I still enjoyed the movie. It just wasn't what I was hoping it was going to be. He's made some other movies that I like enjoyed a lot. So I like Harrison Smith. He's a good dude.
Let me clarify what Damien's saying here. He's saying the who's who of who.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's kind of what he meant, and kind of along the lines of what you just said. Somebody gives like money to the movie too, and now they're acting in it as well. So, but
Yeah.
that's something that many indie movies have to.
Well, that's
Yeah.
sometimes like a perk in
I
like
even
especially if you're like crowdfunding. A
Yeah,
lot of the Indiegogo or whatever. That's one of the perks. It's like give so much and get a role in there. So
Right.
I think someone even like wanted like it was like a stipulation that someone's dog had to be in the movie or something too.
Oh,
I think
wow.
that was the thing, like one of the producers' dogs. I'm
See,
like,
I wouldn't mind that. Like, give me all the dogs. I'll
yeah, but
take all
it
the
took
dogs.
place in an
Sit at home.
abandoned prison. It was an abandoned prison that was supposed to be in like meant like one of the levels of hell, and it was like, all right, find a place for a dog.
Right.
Yeah, but but it was it took place like they filmed it in like an abandoned prison in Philly, and it was pretty cool. It was an awesome set. It was scary as hell to be in, and it was a lot of really cool sets, a lot of really cool people involved, and like I said, they showed me some stuff when I was on set. I was like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing!" And then I was like, "What happened to it?" Like I don't know.
You know,
I was so excited. Then we went to the premiere, and I was just like, people like we were trying to interview people on the way out, and people like were refusing to talk to us because they didn't like it that much. And I was like, "Wow."
yeah, wow. Oh, that's crazy. I want to see the documentary. But like that's the thing though, right? Like I always think about movies in the way that it's such an like really, it's such an intricate machine because it's got so many like different
Yeah.
moving parts. And the problem is that sometimes everything can go right. Pretty much everything can go right and then the one part is just wrong. Like let's say for example, the the DP is not super good or whatever, and but everything else is right. The acting's great, but if you're, if if that part of the machine doesn't work, then it's not going to translate to the final project really well, and everything's just going to crumble. So it's hard, and sometimes people talk about movies versus theater, and people will say, well, theater is so much harder, movies are so much easier because you can go and redo and reshoot and try again. And while that's sort of kind of true, but also not really because you don't always have like the money to reshoot the
mm,
entire thing, or or sometimes it's not apparent before you cut the movie up and you realize that certain things are wrong and they need to be redone, but like certain actors have already moved on, or you know
if people don't realize, sometimes there's time crunches too, where it's like, okay, we're doing it for this, and they want it by now, so here you go. This is what you got to do, and then they throw it at you. It's like, okay, change this up. Well, how am I going to do that in five? Oh, well, whatever. It's like, okay.
is that like at least you have so much time first to rehearse and then you go for it at a show, and then you kind of you learn from the mistakes or whatever, you take notes and you tweak it and you can try it again and you try it again, but then that final product, it only happened once and it's gone. With movies you get that one chance and then it's out in the world, a best case scenario. Or for some movies the best case scenario is that it never sees the light of day, but if it does see the light of day and your product isn't good, it's out there forever and there's not much you can do about it. So that's kind of the balance there. So like, yeah, theater's harder in certain aspects and movies are you know certainly lose out on certain advantages that theater has.
Because theater's harder, but then you get instant. Well, I guess it could be both instant gratification or instant um, reaction, where it's like, okay, it's either good reaction, bad reaction, but at least you can, especially if it's like, a week loop or whatever, that first night you can learn anything you need to. Let's do this a little bit different because, the instant reaction. Movies, it's like, okay, we film it. Now it takes a little bit of time to get out, and then it comes out, and then it's like, okay, well, we didn't get enough, unless you do have screenings and stuff, where then you can get a little like bits and pieces.
There's so many like independent filmmakers now, though. A lot of them don't get that opportunity to like have like all the screenings and like you know, and there's we what's that streaming service that we're paying for now? Like that's
Screamify.
right. So there's a lot of like very low budget stuff on there, very low budget stuff on Tubi, just on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's like some of the stuff is good, some of the stuff isn't, and we're gonna be just being realistic.
It's a
And
bit of
it's
a guilty pleasure that you're paying for there, huh?
yeah, uh, yeah. Well, the Screamify, like it seems like their heart's in the right place. They're paying the filmmakers well, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're paying all right, from what I've heard.
And well, I found out about it through like my social media and talking to the guy behind it. He's like, this isn't for, your mainstream stuff. This is for independent, art, like everything. And for right now, knock on wood, it's $3 a month. So it's one of those things where you can watch it. It seems like it's growing, weekly. I see more people talking about it. So, it's one of those things where you have a lot of outlets out there, Shutter and Screambox and Screamify and all this stuff. So,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's not all.
it
It's
is
not
pretty
all.
amazing. I, like you said, sometimes the product's good. Sometimes you're like, yeah, you really got no business, making these.
Yeah,
But there's no way to tell who's going to grow and like evolve, and maybe this is somebody's
right.
starting point, and
mm-hmm.
really going to continue and work and become better and develop their own style and voice, and actually something that translates, because nobody's, at least I don't think anybody's born a master of anything, right? We all at ourselves to start, and then hopefully learn better. But it's amazing to me that all of these, that there are platforms out there who give a chance
Mm.
to and remove that red tape, and so that the filmmakers or artists who are committed to developing the skill, or sharing the art, actually get that opportunity. So I think it's pretty amazing. So like, I wouldn't say I'm a big snob about it either. So like,
I try not to be. Like I really try to find something good in everything I watch. Like I try to find at least something good. Whether or not, like, even if like they're using like old VHS like camcorders, like they may have like a really cool like progression, or something about like their idea of cinematography may be cool, or something, like just something about it.
yeah,
And
absolutely. I
so
mean,
that way
we're going back, right? We're all we're starting to appreciate the nostalgia of older technology
yeah,
too. And right now people are trying to go for what, 10K and 16K and 30K, whatever. But and at the same time, the other side of us are realizing that no, a regular camcorder can do just as much
yeah,
atmosphere wise, because like every medium, if we look at like cameras as different media, right? Like they're
right,
different tools, like they each bring their own flavor to it. So uh and it's something that my cousin taught me when I was a kid. He wasn't he was older than me, still is. um he was doing photography, and I was trying to learn from him. I was like 12 or something, and I was like, oh well, I need to buy a better camera. And he said, you can really make a camera out of a Pringles can, and you can like shoot with it. What you really need is the eye for it, and learn composition, and like you really need to have a purpose in like what you're doing. And that really stuck with me since I was a kid, and that kind of made me appreciate just the other things than just a crisp image and stuff. So
right. But yeah, so like with like a lot of these extremely low budget or zero budget movies or whatever, like I always try to find something good. And if I find something, like I'm gonna look for other movies that that they've made, or like another movie that actor was in, because I like to see like progress. So
yeah.
like I want to see like their next movie and just be like, all right, what did they learn from that first one? And
Mhm.
then, but the thing is that stinks with that is that then I'm not paying attention to the story as much, because I'm like, oh yeah, they figured out how to do this, like, or whatever. And I'm like, but then I'm not paying attention to like other parts of it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me
But
happy either way.
with the part that, like, every movie, especially indie movies, right? Like I said before, if one part is bad, it kind of all falls apart. That's why you really have to find the things that you like about the the movie, because sometimes those, like, people involved with the part that you do like have quite, you know they have little control over the rest of the things that happen. And yeah, of course, every new project is going to be a new set of problems and a new set of lessons.
Yeah.
Ultimately, hopefully, people learn and do better. So it's actually really awesome that you give people chances. It's cool of you.
Try. But we should probably talk about the other movie because it is.
Well, we have to play the trailer first. And then
I know. So, do you think for the events surrounding a Peeping Tom, because you said that there's going to be a new one coming out, should we hold off on that one?
You can play the half the other one. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty representative of
Okay.
what.
All right, so I'm gonna start with that one. So that one's 1 minute and 41 seconds, and then we'll come back and I'll announce the other one. So here's the events surrounding a Peeping Tom, and again, this is more of like this is an older trailer, but a new one should be on its way. And there's a YouTube channel by the same name of the movie, the events surrounding a Peeping Tom.
Yeah.
So here we go, and we'll be right back.
I'd like you to see a specialist. She's very good with treating addictive behaviors and dissociative memory disorder.
Sure. If you think I should, sure.
Great.
Martin, can you hear me? Can you see me? Martin, I'm right here in front of you.
Are you here, Martin? Outside? Outside of the house?
People can't grasp the meaning behind some horrible real-world event, so they start making things up.
Are you here, Martin?
There we go.
Did it actually play? Because all I saw was a slideshow.
Oh, really? It played on my end.
It played on my side too.
Okay. Did you hear it at least?
I didn't hear anything.
Really? Weird.
Interesting.
That is very weird. But it
good.
It played.
I'm glad it worked for everybody else. I've seen it. I've seen it plenty of times.
And then the other movie that we wanted to talk about is Black Eyed Susan, which is
you better log off.
which is streaming right now on Plex, but it's also for sale right now through Vinegar Syndrome. And you said it was produced. It was by Vinegar Syndrome as well.
Yeah. One of the requirements was that they would only produce movies that were shot on film. So this, met that requirement, and we were shooting on film the entire.
And I was going to ask you for a quick synopsis, but I think the trailer actually kind of spells it out pretty well.
It's best that you do that instead, because I'll just ramble.
Okay. All right. Let me play the trailer. Hopefully you can hear it this time. If not, either way. All right. So here's the trailer for Black Eyed Susan. This is not for the children. So if you're going to be like, hey, it's Black Eyed Susan, that sounds like a wacky movie. I'm going to sit down with the family and watch this one. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't watch this one with the fan. But yeah, here's the trailer for Black Eyed Susan, and we'll be back in a minute and 10 seconds.
State-of-the-art sex dolls are not only socially acceptable nowadays, but also highly priced luxury items.
All right, not the conversation I was expecting.
Not everyone buys a doll like this for sex. Some people want companionship. That's why we're developing a sex doll that can take and reacts to physical abuse.
Have you ever hit a person to satisfy your own pleasure?
Not intentionally, no.
I want you to punch me now.
Do you think you'll be comfortable hitting a device that looks like a human?
I don't honestly know.
But you're hoping so.
Yes,
Because?
I need the work.
Can't find the words, little man?
Susan has made me aware of some things that I found surprising.
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
The ultimate goal of this project.
She only has eyes for you, not Derek.
Please continue to hit me if it satisfies you.
Did you see that trailer?
No, but
Oh, okay. Did you hear it?
I couldn't hear it. No.
Oh, it ends with a old pop to the chops, you know? I was just like, oh, okay. It's a way to end a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this one, I didn't know what I was getting into when I watched this last night. I hadn't seen it. I didn't watch the trailer. I watched it last night without watching the trailer, and I was like, whoa, okay. So it's completely different than what I was. I mean, I didn't know what I was expecting. I enjoyed it. It was a well-made movie. It was definitely different than what I was expecting, for sure.
Yeah, it's from the wacky mind of Scooter McRae. So you never know what to expect with Scooter, because he's just such a different type of character, such a different person. So that was his take on the futurism, because one of the things that he says about the movie is that it's the way that he sees technology progressing, because, and I think it's a sci-fi horror
thriller, exotic thriller, sci-fi-ish type
right thing. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, that when we hear sci-fi, we expect spaceships and pew pews and all of that stuff, but and Scooter always said that it's that's not the realistic version of the future in his mind, and actually the future that we're headed towards is more like Black Eyed Susan.
100%.
I agree. I agree 100%.
With the real life, like some of these things you can't even tell. Well, with AI, sometimes you can't tell if it's real or fake. It's getting that complex where it's just like, I couldn't tell if that video was real or it's getting whatever bugs it used to have. I think it's coming pretty quickly. And
I have two friends that make videos of each other and send them, like, they text them in a group text, but they do AI videos of each other, like just making fun of each other, and it's like ridiculous at like how it's just like, how do you have a complete scan of Scott's body? Like how is that even possible? Like, it's so weird. And I'm like, thank God you're not doing any of me, because I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah. It was really dystopian, and Scooter made the movie before this AI craze that we're experiencing right now. So it's kind of funny how he really hit the nail on the head there, and that these tech bros would go into mostly not progressing the technology for the better of the human race or whatever. They will cover whatever they're doing by that narrative that it's, for the betterment of all humans. But there's always something beneath the surface there.
Yeah, there's always someone who's looking to do something nefarious with all technology. And
Right.
when the bomb dropped, I kind of had an inkling a little bit. I was just like, if they're going this route this early, I'm like, there's got to be something nefarious. And I'm like, the only other thing I can think of is that. And I'm like, that's messed up. Like
reading the script and gasping multiple times.
And it's one of those. It's one of those things where, like, in the movie, they're like, "Oh, this will help that," and by that means like go on a different tangent. But then you think about it, and you're like, "How is that helping in any situation?" Because it's not like you're healing anybody; it's just causing more of a problem and making it worse. But at least it's not going. So, like this one, I was thinking. Well, first of all, watching it, I'm like, oh, this is the first time where one of the characters in it was, there was only one scene where she had clothes on. Every other thing was whatever. But I was just like, okay, well, it's like, like in one person's head, it sounds very right. But in like someone else's head, it's just like ridiculous. And it's like, who's right in that situation?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the character is a sex robot, so what do you want from her? Like, that's literally her one job to be.
Right. Well, that and be a punching bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
A sexy punching bag. Yeah.
Which was brutal. So your character is voice only. So you're like an operator standing by kind of deal.
I'm Big Brother.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like they hadn't cast that character yet. Well, I mean, they had somebody in the works for it, but the thing is that Scooter didn't know me at that point, so he was trying to pull the right people, but also, if you have the right people amongst your friends or people that you've worked with before, you would try to go to them first, and that's what he did. But many people who read the script declined to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm not just talking actors, even crew members, who are never seen on screen, and you really have to try hard to notice somebody who worked on the crew, right? You really have to sit through the credits, and it's also an obscure film, so that's there are multiple filters there for that kind of privacy protection for the film crew people, but but many of the crew declined to participate.
Wow.
Well, there's a few scenes in there, like I can watch, people getting decapitated and all this stuff, and there was just some scenes in this I was just like, oh, okay, and like made me feel uncomfortable. So I can imagine, I'm watching it through a screen. I can imagine someone being there, how intense that would be.
Yeah. Well, I was there the entire time. So even though I only did voice, but we recorded while all together on set. Am I lagging?
No.
Oh.
I'm assuming we are.
No, it's just like I'm moving and I'm seeing myself. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was there the entire time, and contrary to the subject matter, the atmosphere on set was quite lovely. I think it was partially due to the subject matter, and it was so heavy that we really made up for it with the opposite type of atmosphere on set, and there was a lot of laughs and jokes and stuff, and that was Yvonne's acting debut on camera. They are a model and have done nude shoots and stuff like that, or all kinds of different artistic shoots. So that wasn't a problem, with the that not much of a problem being naked on screen, according to them. But I can imagine it being a different beast when you have to do it for days and days and days in front of like 100 people all the time. So that was a different experience for them for sure. But yeah, we all kind of tried to make everyone comfortable, everybody who was in a vulnerable position there, and just be friends. So
yeah,
it kind of bonded us, I think.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's an experience that you all went through, so I'm sure it did. But I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. It's definitely it's a different movie. My friend Scott that I mentioned, who's part of an AI videos every day that I see. He's the one that goes to Vinegar Syndrome to their store and buys up stuff. So I'm gonna recommend that he grab this one and just be like, hey, because he likes the old exploitation movies and stuff too. So I think this kind of almost fits into like that category. Like the
in a different type of way. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
not
so
like
weird because that
precise.
movie makes you think a lot
It does.
more than a lot of exploitation movies
Yeah.
usually do. So yeah, and this is an example of when you walk away with more questions than you do answers, because reading the reviews, which one should never do, when you've been in a project and stuff, like you should never read the reviews about it. But so many opinions came out that never even occurred to me, and it was very interesting to learn other people's ideas about the movies, about the movie, and about the characters. And it's like, like something that I had a different impression about certain things. But they would make theories about what that Amanda chick is about, the character that I played, or the rest of it as well. But it was very interesting. It's interesting how this movie sparked opposing opinions.
I could see it. Well, not that I, think of like it being smart to do it that way, but in essence, like it's like, is there a right or wrong way to do it? And you look at it, it's like, oh well, if you just focus and push people that way, then what is, or what with AI, and I don't know, like it's one of those things where I was just like, who's right and wrong in this situation?
Right, exactly.
So Damien's saying that Fabio Frizzi, I don't know if I'm saying that correct. Frizzi? Well, I'm blind. Did the score. Take a moment to celebrate when you're in a movie scored by that name. He did the Beyond, Zombie, and Gates of Hell.
Thank you, Damien. That's my publicist. So he's the puppeteer.
Yeah, he's the puppet master.
He's the puppet master.
Yes, but yeah, Damien killed it.
Yeah, absolutely, and the score was a huge part of it.
Yeah,
that was really exciting and really important. And I think that when Damien got the script and realized what part he was being considered for, he was like, "Oh my God, I cannot do this possibly." And there were a couple of times there where he was like, "Oh yeah, I would absolutely love to be part of your movie, but the scheduling doesn't really work out." And then they came back and said, "Oh, we'll work around," and he's like, "Fuck." But then they said, "Hey, Fabio Frizzi," and he was like, "Well, now I have to do it." So
like,
that's how they got him. That's how they got him. They said Fabio Frizzi, and then he ran.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It was I liked it. So good job, Damien. Good job, Kate. Good job, everyone involved. But yeah, Actually, we have to wrap up. I didn't even realize it's 10 o'clock.
Oh my goodness, we barely got into anything, you guys. We didn't even talk about our astrology or anything like that that you promised me.
I'm sorry. Next time.
Well, I'm a Taurus, and you're
talk about Taurus. Talk about the bully boo boo. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where can people go to find out what you have going on? Like, where are you most active social media wise?
The most active is probably Instagram. It's Kate Kiddo Kiddo. I try to post about things coming up. We are still working on other projects and going to be coming out with that pretty soon. And hopefully we can share the events surrounding a Peeping Tom with the world pretty soon. We're super proud of it, and we're really hoping that you guys enjoy it too. It's a little psychological horror there. It's really sweet. At the same time, a bit violent and makes you question, your own morality. But we do look forward to everyone seeing it and to the feedback as well, as brutal as it might be.
People like, they can be nice, and then they can also be very mean. Like, there's no.
Hey, that's the horror fandom, right? Like we love it, and we can also critique it pretty harshly. But that's that you take the bad with the good.
As long as it's a constructive criticism, that's my thing.
Whatever. People can say whatever they want.
I know, but still,
it's your God-given right.
Be
say whatever you want.
That movie Death House, there was one guy who's just like, I didn't like it. I'm like, oh really? What didn't you like about it? I just didn't like it. Yeah. And it's like, just tell me what you didn't like about it. I didn't like it.
It's art. You just perceive it. It kind of either vibrates good or vibrates bad.
If you said that, I would have been like, I gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
I would have been like, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's just, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's valid.
Bye. Yeah. Tony, where can people follow you?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Figures on YouTube. I haven't done a video on YouTube in forever, but I got enough of backlog to keep you entertained for a couple days.
All the movies behind you were purchased.
Well, yes, but I didn't show them. I didn't show them all off. Tony Has Nine Figures on X, which I have, but I don't use. Tony Has Nine Figures on TikTok, which is my fastest growing social media, so you find me there the most, where I do reviews and stupid videos and stuff like that. But it is my fastest growing, so you might be entertained. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me, and of course here on the Wicked Horror Show most Tuesdays, whether we have awesome guests or it's just horror movie talk. You can find us here, and remember, watch us. Watch us and listen and do everything, because it'll help us out.
Do all the
everything. All the everything. Yep. It should be on a t-shirt. Yep. Makes no sense whatsoever, but do all the everything.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Just for me, just a knuckle on Instagram. Everything that Tony said. Do all that.
Do all. That's going to be my 2026.
All the everything.
That's going to be my 2026 quote. Do all the everything.
It's your New Year's resolution. You're gonna do everything. But anyways, thanks for watching / listening, and have a good holiday if you celebrate. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Everyone, happy holidays.